Hey guys, it's Scott's Pachinko Restoration. Today I've got a 1975 Sea Anemone themed Pachinko machine to show off to the channel today. 1975, but just by a hair. The registration sticker down here actually says this was at least certified in Japan for December of 1975. So really it's closer to 1976. It's typically when we see these smoke themed plastics for the lights. But yeah, this is a pretty cool machine. I bought this machine at Broomfield, Massachusetts, at the Broomfield Antique Show. That was a fun little purchase then. It was in pretty rough shape, pretty dirty machine, but I was able to take it all apart, clean it up, get it back together, and wouldn't you know, she looks beautiful now. So without further ado, I'm going to get into it. We're going to be pretty detail oriented with this video. The client that this machine is going to, I'd like for them to have a good instructional detail video on how to use this particular machine. It's a Nishijin Model B style, so that's among the easiest ones to operate with Pachinko machines. So I'm hopeful that this machine will behave well and nicely for them. So I'm going to hop right into it. All right, so this is the front of the machine here. Obviously a new play field. I repainted a whole bunch of the plastics on this one. All the orange was missing from this top piece. The sea anemones were missing a whole bunch of paint. These snails were missing paint. And of course these two bottom pockets here are usually missing paint. This machine was no exception. So repainted the red and the green on those. I added some stickers here to the left and right tulips. And I was able to salvage the original stickers on the original playfield. So just to show you, to open the front door, which you're going to need to know how to do, this little tab on the back here, you're going to push up. And you just heard that. That released the front door here. So that swings open. That would allow you access to the playfield here. And then to get this front tray open, maybe you got a jam inside of here that you need to look at. You push this tab down and pull out at the same time, and that releases your front tray. Everything looks good in there, nice and clean now. And so I'll show a close-up of the registration stickers. Those are on there. And then to close that, you're just going to simply snap it shut. Same with the front door. Snap shut. Just remember, it's the tab just behind this side of the machine here. Just behind it. So let's see if we can win some jackpots. Got one tulip that's open. There it is. That's one. The middle tulip is really cool with the sea anemones, so I'll try to get that one. If I can't get it, I will just do it manually. That's a tricky one. All right. So just so this doesn't take forever, I'm going to go ahead and manually trigger these left, right, and middle jackpot options, just so you can see how these tulips react to a ball on the left, the right, and the center. Before we do that, though, we can see the balls are kind of backed up here. So this button here, if you push it to the left, it brings those out. So when you open up the front door here, it won't make a mess. Okay, so this is front playfield. We'll close this tulip just for testing. And the top left hole here in this center feature is going to open this tulip and then this bottom tulip. Okay. Close those. The right tulip is going to open this tulip and then this tulip. Close those. A ball right down the middle here is just going to open this center tulip. And then this is kind of the cool feature of this machine. The center tulip here, or the center hole, opens up these sea anemone tulips. And this is kind of a neat feature. It opens up the bottom tulip. What it does is it will stay in this open position until you get one ball inside of it, right? Okay? And then you can see it slowly kind of start to close with gravity. And as I shoot balls into this machine, these tulips will kind of gradually close as I create vibrations in the machine. You can see as I'm hitting this, these close. And it would eventually take away your time and your chance to get balls in there while these are wide open. So obviously your chances of getting a jackpot into those tulips there, or that tulip there, is greatest when it's wide open. So that would be a gradual close on that one. And just so I can do that again and show you, keep that open. And check this out. So first you got to get one in there. Oh. And now it starts to close. Okay. And the other thing you'll notice here is that this top light in the left-hand corner has come on. And what that means is that you've won a lot of jackpot balls here, or you've lost a lot of balls back here in this bin. And it means that you're very close to being out of balls in the top tray, which we can see here now. There aren't any balls in the top tray. So you get that light to go off, what you're going to need to do is refill the top hopper. We'll do that. And you'll see that that light is turned off. And at some point, the machine will actually take away your ability mechanically to continue to shoot balls into the machine so that you don't jam it when that light comes on. So that's kind of how that works. And yeah, again, so this center tulip here, what will happen is you get the first ball in the middle hole here. It'll open wide open, and then you get the first ball in, and that kind of starts your timer as it slowly starts to close. So obviously you want to try to get as many in there as that tulip is open and then closing as you possibly can to win more pachinko balls. All right, so this is the back of this machine. Nice broad overview shot here. This machine was actually shipped into, it looks like, Pennsauken, New Jersey. Pachinko House of New Jersey, LLC, or Incorporated. So that's kind of neat that it still has its original stamp. So right now, you've got electric going here to the top two terminals. These two wires feed right into the white, into the red. So if these were to come out, you would want to unscrew these all the way, pop the wire back in, and then tighten these screws down into the terminal. This is your jackpot light, which is controlled by this leaf switch right here. And this leaf switch down here controls your jackpot lights. And these are the lights that light up that orange bar strip in the front that we were seeing come on. What I'm going to want to do is just kind of show you how to get the balls out of the machine here first. And then what I'll do is I'll show you what you need to look for before you start playing the machine. So first things first, we are going to get... I'm just going to put this underneath so they don't slide out all over the place. This little latch right here releases all the pachinko balls from this point behind. So everything that's in this top hopper comes down the chute around the elbow to right here will come out when I flip the switch here on this latch. You'll still have some pachinko balls in your chamber here and some pachinko balls in this area. Not a huge deal, but this will drain them out of the machine. What you'll see is this ball empty light will come on. Okay, so the light came on there. I do have a couple pachinko balls flying around here. But that light came on there, and that just means that we are completely out of pachinko balls. This white lever that you see right here is what controls that micro switch. And you can see as I pull down on this lever, and what that simulates is pachinko balls falling down into this hopper and occupying the space and the weight to push this down. It takes the weight off of that switch, and it pulls the contacts apart, which keeps that light from illuminating. So when the balls are empty, it starts to fall down, the switches touch, and your light comes on. Okay, so that's how that works. And similarly, that is how these jackpot lights work. This mechanism here rocks upwards and downwards as the jackpots pay out, and it allows these two contacts to touch here in the middle, which turns on these two lights over here. So that's how those work, and I can show a close-up of that. I actually have a cover here for you on this machine, which is right here. I'll put that on when I'm done with the video, but I just wanted you to have the visual here so you could see everything without the cover on there. All right, so when you start with this machine, the two things that you're going to want to make sure of before you start playing is that you push this little nail in the upper position here. You can even see it says push up to reset, right? Push this up, and this little seesaw in here should be in the upper position that it's in right now. That's how you're going to want that to stay when you're playing. So that's for starters where you want that before you start playing, and then you want to check to make sure that this latch is in the latched position right here, because if you don't and leave it like this and add pachinko balls to the top of your tray, those are just going to come right through this chute here and drain out of the machine. So you want this latched, and you want this seesaw in the upper position, which it already was, but that just tilts really nicely there for you. And everything is set there the way that you need it to be set to load this machine. So what we'll do, we'll go ahead and load it. This is tricky with one hand, but I'm going to try. Okay. And really fill up that top hopper. Like, I mean, I don't even have enough pachinko balls in there right now, but I'd say for this machine, you know, 300, 400, or 500 pachinko balls is probably an adequate amount. But with the way this machine currently sits, you would drop a ball into the front tulip and it will pay out jackpots. And the way that works is you start with the balls up here, the balls filter down through this chute system here around the elbow, down this final jackpot chute into your jackpot chamber. This mechanism is a little hard to see with the cover on, but I like to leave that on there. Balls will fall out of here down onto this white ramp here, and they pay through here and hit a bell on the way out to the front of the machine. Your jackpot balls, you'll see this cover here that I'm tapping on. These pachinko balls come through the machine and find their way down into a ramp at some point, and it drains down here to the seesaw. The seesaw tilts, drains your ball out, falls down on here to this arm, tilts down, releases your ball. This is your winning ball. You don't get that back, and that would fall into your tray full of reject balls that come out here. So when you miss a ball, those are coming through the center here, which is also hard to see with the covers and all that stuff, but they come through the center and they drain out right here. So you'll want to have some kind of a catching mechanism to catch all of those pachinko balls that are coming out of the machine that aren't wins. And you're going to want one for the wins that you have, because like I said, those all drain to the same location. A couple of other things that you want to make sure that this weight is in the downward position, and what that does is it keeps pachinko balls from piling up too high on this feed ramp here. So that should be in the downward position and not up like this. You want that down. Okay. And I'm trying to think of anything else that you would need to know. This latch here on the side is not something that you need to worry about at all. That was for cabinet mounted machines, and you don't need that for this particular one. So that's kind of, it works, but it's kind of not needed. It's inert for your purposes. This is how the mechanism here works. You got a spring that attaches underneath here. If you ever wanted to adjust the tension on that, what you would do is just take this off of the nail that it's on and pull it tighter and then reattach it. You see it's got some extra holes there for extra tension if you want that. And then this is the latch that I was telling you about earlier that would open the front of the machine when you pull it. It just opened the front, so I'll close that again. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything that you need to know on the Model B machine. It's a much more simple machine mechanically than some of the other models out there, especially some of the older models that are a little bit more finicky. Oh, you'll want to keep this top, you want to keep this locked in its current position. This is a piece that often goes missing on these machines. And the problem with missing that piece is that the balls will come out of this elbow and just stack two on top of each other all the way down here to this jackpot chamber. And then your jackpot chamber won't feed correctly. So keep this piece where it is. You can take it out to clear jams. You just pinch this and pull it out. I'm not going to do that because then you'll see the balls back up. But that's currently locked right where it needs to go. So keep that there. And that should be pretty much everything you need to know in this machine. The biggest thing is just to make sure that this is in the upward position and that that latch stays latched. What I'll do is I will simulate a backed up machine just so that you can see kind of how you need to clear that. If you do have a jam that happens right here, sometimes the log jam happens here, and we'll get that cleared out. So to jam this up, how we're going to do it is, in its current state, there are no pachinko balls in the top tray. And I drained all of them out here, relatched this latch so that nothing's going to come out. And we're going to leave that jackpot in the upward position. So basically, what I've simulated is you've run out of balls in the top part of the machine here. And because you don't have enough balls to continually pay out enough jackpots, what will happen is this seesaw will get stuck in the downward position and balls may get stuck on this arm right here. So let's jam it up, and then I'll show you how to get it completely unjammed. So first step, we're gonna just unlatch this and put like an unruly amount of pachinko balls inside of the jackpots here. We'll just get these going. Okay. All right, so you can hear nothing happened, nothing paid out, and that was by design. And like I said, that seesaw is now stuck in the downward position, and that ball is now stuck on that arm here. Okay, your light's still on. You still don't have any balls in the top hopper. There's nothing in this feed ramp right here. So what we're going to need to do to get that clear is first add pachinko balls to the top. Okay, so add these here. Okay, and you can kind of see that jam cleared itself. That jam completely cleared itself. But on the off chance that the arm comes down here and just stops, what you want to do is lift this little paper clip like rod here up to let that ball drain, and then more jackpot balls would permeate down here into the jackpot chamber. So I'll go ahead and create that jam as well. All right, so what we have here now is no balls inside of your jackpot chamber. Seesaw is in the upper position. You're completely out of pachinko balls. There are no pachinko balls in this machine. And we're just going to unlatch the front door. Again, we're going to pump in more pachinko balls than what we need here. You can hear nothing happened here on the front. Okay. Got this seesaw in the downward position, and here we have the arm that's all the way in the downward position. All that's keeping that ball from exiting that spot right there is lifting this paperclip like piece here. Okay, so you can continue to drain these off of there by pushing this pin so that this goes up. That continues to fall down. Push it up. These will drain out one by one like that until you're totally out. Or what you can do is, again, make sure you've latched this latch here. Pull it up. Make sure that's fully loaded. Okay, and then what will happen here, when we drain this next jackpot ball, this will automatically pay out the rest of the jackpots that you have. So let me just get this into position here. Okay, so we're going to press this up. And you can see, as long as it's got pachinko balls to feed the remaining jackpot balls there, you'll get those payouts to the front of the machine. And now that seesaw is back in the upper position where it should be. So everything's operating like it should on this machine. Looks pretty sharp, if I do say so myself. Yeah, and I think that pretty much knocks out any questions and concerns that you could possibly have on the back of this one. Just make sure that the seesaw stays in the upper position and that you keep that latch closed, and that there are plenty of pachinko balls, more than what I have in this back tray right now. Keep that back tray fully loaded with balls, and you'll be off to the races with this one. All right, so that does it for this one. This is the 1975 Sea Anemone machine. It is a first Sea Anemone machine that I've restored. I actually haven't ever done that center feature before, so this is a fun one. Hopefully that will answer any questions people might have about this particular machine, how it might function on the front and the back. And if you have any questions, obviously reach out to me. Another note, anybody who's looking at trying to have a machine restored by me in the next few months, just to let you know, unfortunately, while I was training for state police in the last month or so, I tore my meniscus, and I am going to need surgery to get that repaired. So obviously that goes without saying, I'll be off of my feet for some time after that surgery happens on October 9th. I'm not sure how long it's going to be, or when I'll be back into the shop again, but I just wanted to put that out there on YouTube. I'll probably add a note to my website just so that nobody's disappointed by the fact that I'm not working on machines. And what you guys can't see, this is just a concrete floor here in the workshop, and it is it's not kind to my knees when I'm just walking around here and standing for long periods of time working on these things. So has not been comfortable with the torn meniscus for the last couple weeks, and not really looking at trying to do any restorations while I'm healing. So just bear that in mind. Obviously, if you have any other pachinko questions, I will be probably icing on the couch most of the time here in the next couple months. So feel free to send those questions through to my my email or my Facebook page. I'll link the website and the Facebook page in the description of this video. Happy to answer any questions that you may have, or anything that I can help you out with. Let me know. Thanks for watching, guys.